Let's take a look how to create and use labels when using Gmail so that we can be more efficient and to help us find our emails much easier when we're searching. First, let's talk about what labels are. Labels basically are tags that you can put on an email and then you can search for them later. Now, Gmail technically does not use folders, it uses labels instead. And here's the reason why. An email can only exist in one folder, but you can have multiple labels on an email, which kind of theoretically means it can be in multiple folders at once. It's really just a technical detail. Even though it may look like it's in a folder, technically the engineers would say they don't use folders, they use labels. So now that we're past that, let's talk about how we can create labels. If you go to the settings icon, the gear icon that's on the right hand side, and come down to settings, you'll notice one of your tabs is called labels. Now, based on what inbox you're using may determine some choices you have at the top. Everybody has inbox, starred, important chats, sent mail, drafts, all mail, spam. Those are labels, system labels that you cannot delete. They are automatically applied and used within Gmail system. But you can create your own labels. Just by scrolling down, you'll see the Create Label, New Label button. With each of these labels, it allows you, while you're in an email, to apply it to that email and then later go back and search for it. You can have up to 5,000 labels. Definitely you're not going to use that many. But however many labels you have, you can actually apply as many as you want that are relevant to that email. So I'll create a label here, and I'm going to call this testing, and I'm actually going to nest this label. Say, for example, I have a label called conference, and under it I have sub-labels, so to speak, AIE, ASCD, ASCD, and come on down, there's TASBO. So let me go ahead and put it under conference. It doesn't have to be nested. I can leave it by itself, and I'll just click on create. So now, while I'm in an email, while I'm in an email that someone has sent me, maybe this one right here, let me open up Rebecca's, and I say, you know what, this is to do with the Accounting and Finance Symposium. Let me add the label that's relevant so I can go back and search for it very easily. So let me click on this label icon, and I'll scroll down, and you'll see there's conference and then the sub-label there. So I'll come down. Now I could choose testing, which I just created, but actually I already have one for TASBO, so let me click on that. And now you'll notice it has the inbox label, the system label that it applied, but it also has the label that I applied to it. Now there may be other ones that I want to apply as well, like maybe follow-up, and I can scroll on down. If it has to do with Google, and maybe notes, and I can click on apply, and it'll apply all those labels to it. Later, if I say no, I clicked on notes and I really didn't mean to, I can just click on that X and get rid of it. It just removed the label from the email. It did not delete the email. It did not delete the label that I created kind of in that list. It's still in that list. I can apply later on. When I delete a label, as you noticed, it doesn't delete the email. It just removes it from that email. If I apply that email to this conversation, then when I search for that label, so I can, up here in the search bar, I can type it for Gmail, I can type in label, colon, and now I can start typing in conference TASBO. And it will show all emails that have the conference TASBO label applied to it. Definitely makes it much easier when you have tons of email that you're trying to sort through or go back, find something that's maybe 8 months or a year and a half ago. Another way, and this is actually the easiest way to create and apply a label, would be to, let me come down, I'll take this one right here. Chris and I have a conversation going back and forth dealing with one of our courses, and I want to add Moodle to it. So I'm just going to click this, and maybe if I didn't see the exact label I wanted right here, or I wanted to create a new one, notice I can come down and click Create New right here. Super easy. You don't have to worry about jumping into settings. This will take you there. And again, once I apply that label, it applies it to that email. So if I search for the Moodle label, it will pull all those up for me. That is it on labels. Super easy to use. Oh, one tip is when you are using labels, sometimes you might find, like me, the label I need, I have to scroll down to get. A way to get around that is rename your label so it starts with like 3 periods, an ellipse. If you try to put a space before it, it won't recognize that and it'll just remove the space. But if I put 3 dots before it, it'll accept it as part of the name and it'll float those to the top of my list. So technically follow up would be down here in the ifs. Now it's first on my list, so it makes it very easy for me to access. And I just remember that when I search for that label, I just include those 3 dots as part of the label name. Alright, hope that helps, and if you have any questions on using labels, be sure to email me at bellis@tcea.org. Would love to hear from you and how you're using labels to become more efficient.